Welcome to The Big Story. I'm Haryanto Diman. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you will not miss an episode. Police are investigating an incident which sent a 15-year-old boy to the hospital after he was beaten up at the fitness corner in Serangoon. 8 people aged 11 to 14 are assisting in the investigations, which the police have classified as rioting. The incident that took place on January 15th was captured in a 52-second video that was circulated online. Now, reports say the boy was conscious when taken to hospital after having been kicked in the face and struck by at least 3 attackers repeatedly while on the ground. The video of the incident has gone viral, drawing widespread criticism condemning the attack. Many are also calling for severe and stiff punishments for the attackers to prevent more of such incidents in the future. This comes about a week after another video made the rounds online showing several teenagers brawling at a basketball court in Boon Keng. While just last August, 3 15-year-olds were arrested after a video showing them attacking a teenage girl at a multi-story car park in Compassvale also went viral. Let's talk about this with psychologist Dr. Geraldine Tan. She's the director and principal psychologist of the therapy room. Doctor, are we really seeing more fights among young people, or is it simply a case of these brawls surfacing due to social media?
It does look like it, right? I think social media does play a part, and it seems to highlight, the behaviors of our young ones in not a very nice manner. But we must remember that this generation has been on the social media and they're very fast with that whole, I whip out my phone, I will record everything. Their interactions are also more on the social media. So we see a lot of them being writing their comments, making remarks to each other, and they don't have a very direct consequence. Plus the fact that many of them have not quite picked up the skills, and it's a developmental stage where they have not quite picked up the skills of how to deal with conflict. So conflict management is not really quite developed for them. And many of them are still trying to figure out emotional regulation. Many of them are very impulsive during the teen years. So anger management seems to be another area that we would tend to deal with the teens or work with the teens on during this period of time. And it's getting a little bit more not quite out of hand, but they are not learning how to deal with it as much as we want them to.
And Doctor, do you think social media has fanned the flames and perpetuated the violence among youths? Or are there other factors involved, do you think?
So the media is really powerful. I think I hear many of our teens talking about the news and what they read on the news, and the shootings and the fights that we see overseas, also in Singapore. They talk about it, but how they make sense of it may not be in the best way, just because they don't know what to do with those information. So they are trying to find a sensing or find a footing for themselves, what to do with those pieces of information. And they, being young, being impulsive, would feel quite excited, like, oh my gosh, there's a shooting, and they might not have that empathy level, so they think, oh, it's so distant or it's so far away. So they might want to try it themselves, which is what many of the teens who have expressed in sessions. They do mention it, like, oh, how cool is it? How fun is it? without actually realizing what the actual consequences are. And because they're so fast with their fingers and they don't see any visible consequence when they type something or type a comment or type something that is rude, they don't see the expression, they don't see how the other person is hurt. In that way, social media does contribute in quite a negative manner.
One commonly found suggestion in online forums to steer youths away from acts of violence is to cane them. Doctor, is this an effective deterrent, or are there other ways we can address this issue?
Caning is only useful to deter some of them who are afraid of the consequence. But there are some who wear it like an accomplishment. Oh, I know what it's like to be in lockup, or I know how long it takes to recover. So for those, the group of people who are not deterred by it, then what do we do? You know, the core issue is not really dealt with. So if their core issue is a conflict management issue, so I don't know how to deal with conflict besides using violence or my fist, can we teach them? If it is a personality issue, or if it's values, or if it's love and belonging, if these core values are not being dealt with, the situation or the issue would continue to perpetuate.
Doctor, just to round up our discussion for today, now if someone is a victim of bullying, or if we know someone who is a victim, what can we do about it?
Okay, so 3 S's. I've got 3 things. There are many things that we can do, but just to have a really short kind of tips, 3 things. First S would be support the victim. So oftentimes bullies or the bullied feels very isolated. They feel like nobody is on their side. So support the victim and encourage the victim to speak up, or for the bystanders to also speak up. So we want the more voice to these behaviors that cannot be condoned. And then the last S would be self-awareness. And for us to learn, are there body language that we are not aware of, that we are giving off the wrong vibes, or the tone or the volume of our voice that may trigger someone? Okay, sometimes we are not very aware. And with the young children or teens, they definitely may not have learned the skills to moderate their tone, moderate their volume, or to even know what vibe they're giving out.
Dr. Tan, thank you for your perspectives. Dr. Geraldine Tan, Director and Principal Psychologist of the Therapy Room. That's today's big story. Visit straitstimes.com for more news and our YouTube channel for more videos. Subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman. Join us tomorrow for more on The Big Story.